Welcome back to the Zero to Here podcast. Tonight's show, a really good friend, JoJo Mason, comes back on the show. Very, very entertaining guy. If you like NFL, you're going to enjoy this entire thing. If you don't like NFL, fast forward about 20 minutes. Gets really good talking about his music career, how it's gone in the last couple of years. Really everything on the road, all his experiences. This is a really fun podcast. Also, check him out if you are in Vancouver. February 14th, he's playing at the Commodore. Giddy up. I feel like we have to start by acknowledging.
Acknowledging what, man?
Your Chiefs, man. Your Chiefs are playing the Super Bowl next week.
Listen. Here's the thing. My first team is Philadelphia.
Okay.
So when Jadeveon Clowney, I know you're a Seattle guy, so we're not going to be friends for a few minutes. But when Jadeveon Clowney, dirty ass, cheap shot at Carson Wentz from the back when he dove on top of his head, we can talk about it. You know what? That was it for me. I was no longer a Seattle fan after that. I liked the team. I loved what they were doing. And I loved Jadeveon Clowney. Not anymore. Not my team. And then we had to bring in the 40-year-old guy who had a broken hamstring or something like that, who was never expected to play, whom we never really wanted to play, but it's kind of all we had to have. You know, we had to bring him in. However, my second team is the Chiefs because my best bud, Joe, he's a diehard Chiefs fan.
There you go.
You know, so I had to support, had to show love. And I got to go down to the stadium in Arrowhead.
And you went to Arrowhead.
I went
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago to see Houston. See him play Houston.
How cool was that?
Oh, bro. It was, honestly, it was a bucket list thing. Like,
weren't they down 21-0 in the first quarter?
24.
24-0 in the first quarter?
In the first quarter, they came back in the second quarter and just lit the lamp. They were 27-24 by the half. I'm sorry. What? There was an old man behind me. Oh, dude, he was funny as hell. He was cussing out everybody. Fuck you, Mahomes, you piece of shit. Just going off on everybody. I kept looking back like, oh, man. Like, calm down. It's 3 minutes into the game, bro. Geez. By the first quarter, he had left.
He left?
He left. He was the only one within 4 seats that was standing there. He had 4 seats to himself. Didn't sit down once. Screamed his head off for the first 5 minutes or something like that, and then left. They got down 2 touchdowns, and he was like, "I said I'm out of here. And fuck this game." And I was, okay, sir, have a good day. And then they came back and took the lead before the half. It's crazy.
51-7, they won the next 3 quarters. Isn't that crazy?
Against Houston.
How many teams in the league can be down 24-0 and come back?
Name me one team that could do that. I can't.
Maybe Baltimore. I don't know.
Can they though?
We never saw them down that big.
Look what happened. They were down 14-0 against Tennessee.
Totally.
And all Tennessee has is a run game.
Totally.
Except for AJ Brown. He's a beast.
Yeah.
And Tannehill can kind of get him the ball once in a while. But you know, all they got is Derrick Henry. And so when Derrick Henry gets the ball, you got all you have to do is stop him. And they couldn't do it. And then they're down 14-0, and Lamar couldn't come back. He was throwing bad passes.
I know.
And Lamar's my guy. I took him in my first round in my fantasy pool. Okay, in my fantasy draft. First round.
Good for you.
And I will never let him go. No. It's a keeper league. He ain't going nowhere. So he's my guy. He's been my guy last year too. And I you know, it was tough to see him against Tennessee go down like he did.
Totally.
However, you see what he did. It was incredible. This year, all season, 16 weeks, 17 weeks, or 16 weeks, whatever it was. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. I was so blown away. I was, I admired his, he's 23, 22, something like that.
This is his second year, so yeah.
Second year, 22.
Yeah. Is he 23 yet?
Yeah, even though he's not even 23. Joe Burrow is older than he is. Joe Burrow stayed one more year in college. And This year, he just got LSU won a championship. So
he's 23.
Lamar?
Lamar.
That makes sense. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because his birthday was
January 7th. Yeah.
January 7th was real recent. Yeah. That's crazy.
Mahomes is next level, though. He's so fun to watch. When he's healthy,
he's a freak, dude. He's a freak. Like, it's not even fair. And then you give him guys like Tyreek and Travis Kelce and you know, even McCole Hardman. Come on.
I know you're a Chiefs fan.
I am.
What's your score prediction next week?
I haven't decided yet. Here's the thing.
You want to hear mine?
I do. Yes, I do.
What did I say last night? 30. I think I said 38-31. Chiefs.
38-31 Chiefs. I would be okay with that.
I think it'll be high scoring.
I think it will be too.
34-31.
34-31. All right, same thing.
Will it be?
What?
Well, here's the thing.
High scoring?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it'll either be high scoring or an absolute defensive battle because Tevin Coleman is hurt. I don't know if he's playing running back for San Fran, and they had that dynamic deal with Mostert and
Mostert had a beast game last
240
week,
yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this guy? He was a special. I was looking at his credentials. He was a special teams punt returner, or not even a punt, he was a blocker or something like that. And they needed a running back because Breida got hurt. Breida went down. Mm-hmm. Who else? Coleman at the time, I think, went down or something like that. And another one of them went down. So they just was like, oh, shit, all right, well, get in there, Mostert. Yeah. And what?
Yeah.
What? So he blew the lid off. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Jimmy G can keep pace with Mahomes in the scoring. So what they're going to rely on most is their number one defense.
How many times did he throw the ball last week?
8.
I was going to say, I thought it was single digits. Yeah.
8. He threw the ball 8 times. Here's the thing. Coach Shanahan he went out right before the game and said, we're not going to throw the ball. We're going to run it down your throat. And if you can't stop us, tough shit. And that's what they did. They ran the ball and ran the ball. It's not like he was hiding or like that was the thing that we're going to. They purposely threw. And they went on the record at an interview a couple of days ago, said, if we need Jimmy G to throw the ball 40 times, he'll throw the ball 40 times. If we need him if we're going to run the ball 40 times, we're going to run the ball 40 times. We're going to do whatever works for us. And we're not going to feel sorry or, we're a team. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And that mentality for me, that scares me against, coming into the Super Bowl. I know there's a lot of trust in Mahomes, but there's also a lot of trust in that San Fran defense. So what do? Led by Nick Bosa and the boys.
What did the Chiefs hold Henry to last week? It was like under 60 yards or something, right? Like they locked him in.
And how? I don't know. But so if they can stop Henry,
that's totally a good sign moving forward.
If they can stop Henry, and then they're going to force Jimmy G to throw the ball.
Exactly.
And if they can force Jimmy G to throw the ball, they got Tyrann Mathieu in the backfield. Dude, he'll do his thing. The Honey Badger, he'll do his thing, right? Hopefully, they can shut the pass down. And if they're going to rely on the run, Kansas City's defense for the last 5 weeks have been unbelievable in the run stop game. Man, I love talking football.
I know, man. It's so easy. I started a Seahawks podcast just so I could talk about football all the time.
I'll never be on it. Unless they get rid of Jadeveon Clowney.
I will agree that in real time, to me, it didn't look that bad.
No.
But when you slow it down,
he was already going down.
Yeah, it was
and Jadeveon, the replay is full on helmet to helmet. I'm gonna murder you right now. Bro, stop. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You don't. And he did it. And I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. I was just trying to play the game hard. I'm not gonna apologize. Get the fuck out of here. And he goes on saying, Eagles fans are the worst fans in the world. Man, you were gonna come to Philly.
Did he say that?
Yes.
That's a dumb thing to say.
You stupid, you son of a bitch.
Especially when they already hate you.
Why would you do that? Yeah. You were going to come to Philly to play before you got taken by the Seattle. Man, no offense to you, bro. I'm glad they're not in the Super Bowl. Hell no. Get out of here.
There's no way we're making the Super Bowl with the squad that we had on the field.
No.
We had so many injuries. So did Philly.
For real.
Yeah.
You look at the starting lineup for Philly in week 1 in comparison to the starting lineup for Philly in week 16 or 17. They're a completely different roster. You know, they said the entire wide receiver core minus Alshon, because he came back last game, minus Alshon didn't even have NFL contracts. They were on like the practice squad of like the B-line practice squad, and they had to bring these guys up to like try their best. Yeah. Come on, guys, we can't afford anybody else, so let's go, let's try out. And like Boston Scott, who the hell's Boston Scott? He's a young man's Darren Sproles now. We figured out, which is nice to see. But my God, man, the things that Philly did was okay. I was okay with it. You know,
it's the same with the Seahawks, man.
Yeah.
Week 2, I think we lost our starting center. So Joey Hunt, who no one had ever heard of, played the entire season.
Yeah.
Well, not that bad. Week 4, we lost Disley, who is a tight end, who is beastin'.
I picked him up after week 2. Was it week 2? I picked him up, and he was killing it, man.
But then he tore his Achilles.
For the whole season, done for the season.
We lost 4 running backs, so we had to bring Lynch back.
I was okay with that.
That was so fun, man.
I was okay with that. Is he staying one more year? Is that it? Or is it just a one-off?
No one has really said anything about it.
Okay.
He hasn't announced anything.
He did what he needed to do.
Sticking around.
He did what he needed to do. He did his job, right?
Yeah.
He knew the offense, and, obviously he wasn't going to put up, 2000 and 2015 Marshawn Lynch numbers, right? But
he had 4 touchdowns.
He had a touchdown every game, yeah.
My man had a touchdown every game.
Yeah.
He's just telling all these young guys to protect their chickens. I don't know what it means, but it sounded incredible. And I was like, damn, Marshawn, when I get some money, I'm going to protect my chickens too. Yeah. Whatever that means, I'm going to figure it out.
Man of very few words, but everything he says is profound.
Right? I agree. I completely agree. And I love that he came back into it with like a good attitude. He wasn't, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
I liked that Marshawn because it was rebellious at the time. But, I like mature Marshawn coming back and, giving these young kids advice now and something about chickens and stuff. I don't know.
So our 4th string running back, Travis Homer. Remember him?
Yeah. Okay.
He basically started touching the ball as soon as Carson and Penny went down.
And pro size.
and pro size, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Marshawn is now playing with this rookie, Travis Homer. And at halftime of the first game that he came back, which I think was the San Fran game. I think it was week 17. Anyway, at halftime, there's an conversation that they picked up on the sideline cam. Marshawn just like pumping up Homer. He's like, You're inspiring me right now. Keep doing your shit.
No way.
But like, imagine being a 24-year-old kid
having beast
and Marshawn
mode.
Lynch is telling you, that you're inspiring him.
Holy
it's pretty cool.
That would be wild, man. Because Marshawn is a clear-cut, public figure. Mm-hmm. Like he's the guy. You think about Seattle, you think about Marshawn, you think about that run. Totally. That beast mode run. That's what you think. But you think Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, and the Legion of Boom, right? Like that's what you think of. And to be sitting there, I just got goosebumps, man. Sitting there having Marshawn yelling in your face, but all positive, motivational shit, man. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Marshawn. So you think Chiefs this weekend?
I think Chiefs. I think they're better all around. I think the Niners from the very beginning of the year were talked about as Super Bowl contenders, and I think they deserved it. And obviously they're there. Probably the best defense in the league.
Oh yeah, no questions.
I like when the game's on the line. I like Mahomes to have the ball rather than Jimmy.
You know what? I'd rather have Mahomes over anybody.
Russ is right in that conversation.
I agree. Yeah. I absolutely agree. But if you take Russ and you take Mahomes, who are you taking?
That's a really interesting conversation.
Take your Seahawks jersey off.
So I want to attack this in a couple different directions.
Okay, hit me.
One, Russell Wilson's played 8 seasons in the NFL, has missed 0 games because he's so smart and avoids contact. Mahomes, better athlete, no question. probably better arm.
Definitely.
Smarts, I think I like Russ. I haven't watched enough of Mahomes necessarily to I just see highlights, really. I don't watch the game. I don't watch Chiefs games. But he gets injured.
That's the difference. He's been injured one time.
Is this season the only time he's been injured?
This season was the only time he's been injured.
I'm pretty sure.
Last year he played out the season and he ended up MVP.
Yeah.
As a rookie. Was it he was a rookie last year?
I think it was his second year because he didn't play at all his first year.
That's right. So he come in and he, first year starting, guy gets an MVP title. He's thrown 76 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Correct me if I'm wrong. 13 or 14 interceptions, 70s in 2 seasons, missing 3 games. Like, tell me, I love Russ, okay? I'm a Seattle Seahawks hater now, all of a sudden, because of Jadeveon Clowney, asshole. But I am I'm a Russ Wilson fan. I like him. I love what he does. I love watching him play. He's exciting. No play is ever dead when you're Russ Wilson. But I'm picking Mahomes, especially after this season, man. He gets hurt, goes down, takes his time coming back. He was supposed to be out 5 weeks. He came back in 3.
Yeah.
And to come back the way he did, he didn't throw a ton of balls. They ran the ball a lot with first week back. But after that, bro, in 2 seasons, 76 touchdowns and 13 interceptions.
The numbers are impressive. Yeah,
They're incredible. And I think if he was able to have stayed healthy this year, he might have had back-to-back MVP numbers. Respect to Lamar.
Sure.
Of course, respect to Lamar.
Obviously, it's difficult for me to answer that question unbiasedly.
Yeah.
I watch every single Seahawks game. I only will ever watch Patrick Mahomes if he's in the playoffs, basically. Like, I'm not going to sit there and watch a regular season Mahomes game.
You should.
But I should. All right.
You absolutely should.
Maybe next season. They had this, I don't know what I was watching, NFL.com or something. They had this stat. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was something to do with like a substitution stat. So basically, if you pull that quarterback off of that team and put in like a normal quarterback in the NFL, how many more games does that quarterback win than the normal quarterback? So they said Russ in that stat, I don't know what they base it on. Yeah, O-line. Yeah. Like, Russell Wilson had the 31st ranked O-line in the league.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson has very few studs around him, if any. Name one guy that you knew about going into the year that didn't finish the year injured. Lockett.
Once they drafted DK Metcalf.
So
the guy is a freak. He was a freak coming into this league. But he had nothing proven, of course.
He got a lot of targets because there's no one else on the offense.
Yeah. Right? Here's what bothered me. Okay, here's what bothered me as well. What about the Seahawks was it Josh Gordon?
Yeah,
they got Flash Gordon, and somehow my man failed another drug test.
That's number 5, right?
5. Flash, what are you doing? But with a guy like Flash, with a guy like Lockett, healthy, with DK on the outside, with Disley for the first 4 weeks, with who's their other tight end? Did they have
Luke Wilson was kind of the second guy,
and Luke Wilson, he's no scrub.
Yeah,
he's no scrub. I think he's fine with that supporting cast, and then you add Jadeveon Clowney. If Seattle was able to have stayed healthy, plus the center, of course, that went down. If that team was able to stay healthy, they would be. I think it would be Seattle and the Chiefs. However,
I would love to say that. Just offense at the beginning of the year was top 3 in the league, right?
Incredible.
Russ was on fire. I think he was like 22 or 23 touchdowns before he threw his first pick.
Yeah,
insane,
freak.
But the defense sucks.
The defense was so bad. They were so bad. We couldn't stop anybody.
Exactly. We had to win games 38.
That's it.
I went to that week, I think it was week 3 against the Rams.
Okay.
Where the Rams missed a field goal at the end of the game to lose.
But
the only reason they're in the game is because Russ just wins games, right? He keeps them in the game.
And if I remember correctly, he was throwing the most accurate passes I think I had ever seen. Like it was a freak of nature performance just to keep them in the game.
Yeah.
And then the Rams had a chance. Was it to win or to tie?
To win, because we won by 1.
They blew it.
It wasn't even a long field goal. It was like 41 or something. Yeah.
Oh, the Rams suck, man. I traded Todd Gurley and Cooper Kupp away a long time ago in my fantasy league. Yo, bums.
What happens to them?
Oh, you know what it was? It was Goff.
They were so dominant last year.
He was exposed.
Yeah.
Goff was exposed. Here's what I didn't understand at the beginning of the year. Yes, okay. Going into last year, Todd Gurley's hurt.
Yeah.
Right? He's hurt. He's tough for him to get any momentum going, but he's still Todd Gurley. And once they started giving him the ball, which mid-season, because they were giving him 6-7 touches every game, something like that. Bullshit. He's Todd Gurley. He was the guy that scored like, what was it, 15 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns for you last year?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? And they didn't give him the ball. So once they started giving him the ball, then he was the difference maker. And Jared Goff was able to make some plays. But I think Goff was exposed. He's a bum.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of him, never have been, never will be. I do also think Sean McVay was exposed. He was supposed to be the coach. He was supposed to be the youngest, this guy who's coming into the league. He's got everybody figured out. He's the youngest mastermind, maybe a young Bill Belichick or something like that. And this fucking guy, he was exposed. He was losing games to teams that they had no business losing against.
Yeah.
They with a front line with Aaron Donald, with Aaron Donald, their defense was stacked. They added Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
They have Clay Matthews rushing the passer on the outside. And you're telling me you're gonna lose games? You have all the weapons. You got Robert Woods on the outside on offense. You got Cooper Kupp, on the other side. You have Todd Gurley, and you have that young running back Marquise something, whatever his name is. He's coming. Marquise Brown was his name, I think maybe. He came, and the dynamic duo between him and Henderson, between him and Todd Gurley, they should have been unstoppable, in my opinion. But they got stomped on what seemed like every week.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing, man. Now, the reason why San Fran is so dominant is because, and Jimmy G looks so good, and their offense looks so good, is because their defense just kept getting them the ball. Mm-hmm. When you have 12 opportunities to score as opposed to the regular 4 or 5 chances throughout 6 chances throughout the game, of course you're going to do better. But the defense is scoring just as many points as offense. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but I don't know. The Rams,
that was like New England at the beginning of the year. Well, didn't their defense outscore their offense for the first 4 games of the year or something?
That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely. Tom Brady was throwing one touchdown pass a game, if that. Yeah. It was a bum. I had him in my fantasy, but screwed me for weeks. For weeks. If it wasn't for Lamar putting up 280, whatever points or yards or running yards, whatever, and if it wasn't for him, I would have got my ass kicked every week. I got second. I was choked.
This guy loves football. Huh?
I love football, man. Every day I listen to my First Take podcast and football, baby. Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith. Every day.
Whose podcast is that?
First Take.
I don't know that one.
You should check it out. It's great, man. Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman.
Every day they do.
Every day, yeah. Whether it be all kinds of sports, like baseball. Oh, okay. They just did a really nice one. Was it Monday yesterday about
KB?
That one. I was at the gym listening to tears lifting my waist.
It's surreal, man. As soon as I heard it, I thought it was one of those jokes. Like, people are just messing. Yeah,
I thought it was fake news. No questions.
Yeah.
It rocked me, man. It rocked my world. I've been a fan of Kobe forever, right? And when me and the buddies were playing outside in the driveway, I was always Kobe Bryant, right? And everybody would be MJ. My buddy Jared would be MJ. And I'd always be Kobe. And that was a tough one, man. It felt like a piece of me was gone. And then to find out his 13-year-old daughter was on the damn plane.
Totally, hey? Yeah.
Killed me. Just, it really puts, it really puts life into perspective.
For sure.
Not only in the fact that, yes, kiss your loved ones, do this, but also like, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Like, do you want to be remembered, or do you want to leave your mark somewhere? And to see unanimously the impact that Kobe had with everybody. So this First Take podcast, Stephen A. Smith. Have you ever heard of Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah.
So Stephen A. He was saying that him and Kobe were buddies, but he would say that Kobe had the level of standard to the point, and he would hold everybody around him to the point where if Stephen A. was coming in to do a show and he wasn't feeling good and he was maybe giving 60% of himself to the First Take show, he would get a call from Kobe after and be like, when I turn on First Take, I expect 100% from you, and you was not giving me 100%. You need to be better than that, and we'll just cuss him out.
Yeah.
But like obviously on a brother level, like a friendship level, right? But that was the level that he left behind, and unanimously, everybody that played against him, everybody that saw him play, knew that that Mamba mentality was real.
I saw someone on Instagram, I think today, posted one of the guys who played with him on the Lakers. Apparently they got killed in a playoff game one time, and Kobe goes back in the locker room and takes their shoes.
Took all their Kobe's.
A bunch of them were wearing Kobe's. He's like, you guys don't deserve to wear these.
That's right.
You better show up tomorrow. You guys
are soft, is what he said. So you guys are too soft. This team is too soft. You don't deserve to wear my shoes. Yeah. Took them away. I says, what?
That's intense, but it's like that's a message right there.
You can't be soft like that. I can only imagine how hard it would have been for guys like even LeBron to get off the finish, just breaking his record, giving him love, props, hugging. LeBron is out, GG. His little daughters were sitting in the front row as well, and giving them love, and then going to finish the game, getting off the plane to come home the next day, and he's gone. Like just did you watch the helicopter go down? There was a video of the copter going down. It was
really. I'm gonna look it up after this.
The explosion. There was one comment on it said it was fake, but it was in the same area. It looked like the same thing. I don't think it was fake. But oh man,
it's just like we're so privileged growing up in North America.
There's no question
that it's too bad that we take. It's too bad that we need events like this to kind of put things back in perspective for us. But as soon as it happened, there was some strange feeling in me, just like, fuck, like life is so short. Even for guys who you think are invincible, he was superstars, right?
He was Superman.
And to me, the message that I like kind of started playing in my head was every day, do the stuff that you enjoy doing.
Yeah, man.
Do what you love.
Don't waste a day. That was Kobe's big thing. He never wasted a day. And that's one of the things I've been watching interviews, dating back forever for like in the last couple of days, especially. And one of the things they said, somebody asked me, said, what would you want to be remembered for? His response was somebody that, never wasted a day. He said, the reason I'm at the level that I'm at is because of the 4 a.m.s. I was up at 4 a.m. practicing every day. He would be the guy would be at the gym before anybody else. Somebody came in and practiced and came in to warm up or do their workout or whatever. And Kobe would stay till the end of his workout and then stay for another hour or two after that guy's workout. And kid would come up to Kobe and say, man, you worked out. You tripled my workout. And he said, yeah, because I need to show you that I'm the best. I need to show you this is what it takes, and that was his legacy. That's what he wanted to leave behind. So I'm trying to be as, I went through the emotions, the grieving, it's crazy what an effect he's had on somebody like myself who's never even met the guy.
Yeah.
But it was like a piece of me, felt like a piece of me had just got ripped out. And it was so bizarre. And it really, and you find out about the other victims on the plane and on the helicopter, and it's just a freak accident. Of course, obviously the pilot was a helicopter instructor. His credentials were legit. He was
professional. Oh yeah, he's been flying forever.
He's been flying for him. He's been flying for Kobe for the last 4 or 5 years. They were on their way to a basketball practice or a game.
His daughter, right?
His daughter's game, which her teammates and some of the parents were on the plane, on the helicopter. Like, it doesn't seem real.
Right.
I was listening to the First Take podcast today, and I can't remember who was on, but they had just recently talked to Kobe, or had an interview with him a while ago or something, and Kobe said he would always not joke, but kind of joke that he wanted to die young because he wanted to be immortalized. Is that a word? Mm-hmm. Is that a real thing? He wanted to be immortalized, right? And you see it on Instagram. You can't scroll 3 posts without seeing something about Kobe Bryant. There's even if it's some famous person or some, just some regular Joe like myself, And
it's not just North America, right? It's the whole world, like China, Philippines, everywhere, man.
Lionel Messi posted a big thing and was like, whoa, man.
I think AC Milan, when they were playing today, they had a whole thing for Kobe because he did some stuff with them.
That's right. He was that guy. And it really puts in perspective, like, well, what are you going to waste a day? Are you going to sit around and not be productive? Are you going to for me, it was so motivating to, it sucks when that happens. And like you said, it sucks that you have to go through a tragedy to get to be realized,
right?
Or to recognize, what needs to be happen, or how privileged we really are, how lucky we really are, for us to take a minute, stop, and kind of put it all into perspective. But from darkness comes light, right? From any storm comes a rainbow, and I think that's what everybody's going to take, and they are going to immortalize him. He's going to be the legend. They're trying to get the logo of the NBA changed to the silhouette of Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. That's awesome. That needs to happen. I am for that. But he emulated everything that I wanted to be, and I still want to be. And I think a lot of people too, right? It's crazy to see what kind of impact. I ain't never met the guy, right? And I'm talking about him like he's still here too. Crazy, man.
You gonna start hooping again?
I think so. Yeah. I loved playing ball, man. Back in the day, I wasn't good, but I could shoot.
Yeah.
It wouldn't go in, but it would look good while I was shooting. And every time, whether it went in or not, I would yell, Kobe. That was my guy, man. Oh, that's tough. That's tough, man. Shit.
We were talking about last night, like trying to remember when the last time someone of that stardom had passed away.
Has it happened? Michael Jackson.
That's what we said. That was the next guy we could think of. Oh, Princess Diana? Like, who else?
Yeah.
I'd even, no disrespect to the queen or to the late Princess Diana, but
different
even
time
just
too.
like
different
in
time.
Terms of like the global effect, right?
That's what you see, man. Yeah, Princess Diana maybe, but Michael Jackson.
And are there other people, maybe a handful of other people on the planet currently that would have that type of effect globally? Because like, it would probably have to be an athlete or
Oprah.
Who? Oprah? Yes, someone like that.
Somebody like Oprah, but on that level. And it didn't even occur to me that Kobe would even be on that scale, and personally, like I said, personally, it's all relative to each person, right? So Oprah hasn't really done much for me in my life, not because she hasn't done amazing things in the world, just because I haven't really paid attention to what the messages she was preaching. Right. And I know they were good. I know that she's done a lot of good for the entire world. She's fucking Oprah, right? It's Oprah. But personally, Kobe just trumps. I've been trying to think, like you said, I've been trying to think of somebody that, for me, would have that effect on me.
Just probably because of the age too, right? 41 is so young.
He was our generation's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe my parents' era or something like that would, if MJ died, maybe that. But he was unanimously loved and unanimously respected, which was the biggest thing for me. He was the epitome of standard that you should and everybody should strive to be. I don't know, man. I can't think of anybody.
No, we didn't have a good answer.
Who you got, Carl?
No answer. I have no idea. I mean, BC Place had the purple and gold yesterday. I don't think they'd do that for Oprah or someone.
Right.
Like, what colors would you put for Oprah?
A soft purple.
Careful.
I thought he was going to say black. I thought Carl was going to say black. It's a funny joke. I'll give him that. Oh, man.
Let's get into some music.
Yeah, let's do it, man. What you got for me?
I find the way that relationships are built super interesting. And obviously I know very little about music industry, but it seems like every year or every time I talk to you, there's more and more relationships building. So, and I think a lot of the public, I'm going to speak from my perspective, but like, for example, how do you get signed up to be in one of those wicked Sunfest, like a Sunfest or like a Merit Music Festival, or like, how do you get signed up, or how do you make those connections to get on someone's tour? Or, cause like starting from zero is super difficult.
Yeah.
I'm sure like teaming up with the right management team and the label, they kind of help promote you to get you on that kind of stuff. But is it a lot on you? Like you're touring with Gord Bamford this year, which is wicked.
That's pretty dope. I'm so excited, man. Yeah. That's going to be a good time.
But like, how do those connections start, especially early in your career?
Well, I think a lot of it does have to do with you, with said person. For me, I feel like because I have just really made it a goal just to, not to expect anything from anybody, not ask anybody anything for anybody, just make friends, and be me, and just kind of let who I am, out and open to a lot of people. I think people gravitate towards the vibes that you put out in any place or any business or whatever it may be that you're doing. Whatever vibes you're putting out, I think you're gonna get back. And luckily for me, I try my best to stick with this good vibes only thing, like a lot of people do. And country music, especially in Canada, is follows the suit, right? And not follow me, but follow that path. And that's one of the things that I've fallen in love with this genre is meeting the amount of people that I've met, meeting the people in different realms of the genre, whether it be radio, whether it be, label executives, booking agents, other artists. It's all about just being a good person. People realize and recognize that and I think gravitate towards it. You also have to not suck. you got to have a good product to pitch, like any business, right? And I'm not saying that I don't suck, because sometimes I'm the worst, but I think I do what I do and hope that people see that it's genuine, it's authentic, and it's me. I've never been anything but me. I don't know how to be anything but me, and so far it's paid off.
It's fair to say, I think, you're a pretty likable guy. You're pretty charismatic. You're fun. You're easy to talk to. You're energetic.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Were you always like that?
That's how I've always been.
Yeah,
my mama did that, man. She's been my best friend for a long time. Going on 30 years now. Her and I have had a really good relationship forever, and she is just that as well. She is that vibrant. People are just attracted to her and want to talk to her, and she's always greets you with a smile on her face, and I think her and my dad have done a really good job raising me and my brother in the way of respecting everybody.
Yeah.
Not, if somebody's mean to you, there's obviously a reason why they're mean to you. Nobody's just mean because nobody's born mean. Obviously something has happened. And that's one of the things that, has been, my dad really, really drove that home, was everybody's going through something, everybody's going through some shit. So if somebody comes to you, cusses you out, chances are somebody did that to them, or somebody hurt them somehow. And in retrospect, hurt people, right? And so I've done my very best to not do that, and not let myself succumb to the negativity, I guess, right?
It's a difficult thing, especially when you're growing up. Once you like, for me, probably once I reached like mid-20s, I started figuring out, and even just like through educating yourself, listening to podcasts and other people's perspectives, people who have been through a ton more experience than I have, and just, you have no idea what's going on in someone's head.
You don't.
Even like your best buddy. Like I've used this example before. Even like Carl, I see him 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I probably know 3, 4, 5% of what is actually going on in his life.
Oh, totally.
I don't know that his girlfriend's upset at him. I don't know, like whatever examples. I don't know that his mom is sick or, whatever, all those things.
Everybody going through their own thing. And I think, especially in this business, like you said, relationships, it's all about relationships. And you need to be, one thing I've gotten really good at is understanding different personalities. Yeah. Over my 29 and 7/8 of a year.
You turning 30 soon?
I'm almost 30, man.
Where?
End of February, I'll be 30. I'm getting old, boys. I'm getting old.
Carl and I are a year older than you, so.
Ha!
We've been there already.
We're 89.
It sucks, doesn't it? But I've done a really good job, in my opinion, of being able to recognize different personalities, and not only recognizing different personalities, but how to interact and how to deal with other different personalities, whether it be, somebody who's more quiet and shut down and shy or whatever, you know.
Because they can probably get intimidated by someone who's like super friendly and outgoing and a little bit louder, right?
I'm very, and I feel like I'm very intuitive when it comes to stuff like that. So I know how to deal with, or interact with people that are a lot more shy, to help, bring out, a side of them that is maybe they didn't even know they had. At least that's what I like. That's what I like to try to do. And everybody's different, which is great. You meet so many different people. And again, this business, it's a very small industry, but there are so many different personalities. And a lot of musicians aren't extroverts like myself. A lot of them are introverts. And, I could sit here and talk to you for 45 minutes to an hour, 3 hours, it could be 6 hours, whatever it be. And I know some guys that it's a nightmare. Yeah. To sit there and have to, talk to a crowd or talk to, whatever it may be for 5 minutes. It's so uncomfortable for them, but that's who they are. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? And I've managed to create really good relationships with all kinds of different people. I look at my group of friends, and I don't have a group of friends. I have 2 people over here. Yeah, I got 2 people over there. Like I'm sitting there, my 30th birthday. My fiance is looking at me like, so what are we gonna do for your 30th? We gotta do something big, right? What if we get all your friends together? I'm just like, okay, yeah, we could do that. She's like, oh, but do you think like none of them have ever met each other? Yeah. Huh. Yeah, we could all go out for dinner or something, or or not, or we could, and I'm sure it would be great. I like to keep good company, But I feel like I've been really lucky with my upbringing and with my mom and dad that have raised me on those principles of treating everybody how you want to be treated, and really driving that home. I've been bullied. It's not good. I've been on the other side of it, and I've also been on the good side of it, where people have gone out of their way to make me feel comfortable, and that's a feeling that you want to be able to reciprocate to anybody else. Yeah. So I feel lucky, man. I feel lucky.
With, let's say you're early in your career. You're 4 years in? Something like that?
What was it, 2005? Going on 5, yeah.
5?
This year will be 5, yeah.
How do those relationships start, though? So, like, I'm using my example as, like, the podcast. So I like talking to people that inspire me, are doing something that I enjoy. I love country music. Yeah. Love you now.
Thanks, bro.
Am I one of those groups of friends somewhere?
I think so. Why not? You've never met any of my other friends, right? But if you want to call me or you want to chat and we can hang out, I'm around.
I'm in. Let's do it.
That's how I operate, man. That's how I work. I've always been like that, right?
So like for me, just reaching out to people on Instagram, basically being like, hey, I'd love to chat with you. I love what you're doing. Love to throw some ideas back and forth. You want to connect for podcast, coffee, whatever.
It's kind of the same for me.
Yeah. Just reaching out to people you inspire, being like, I'm a young country artist. I love what you're doing. You've inspired me to whatever.
I mean, So one thing I will say is it's nice to have somebody to introduce you to those people.
Yeah, for sure.
But then it's up to you to maintain those relationships, or to even to really start those relationships. I'll give an example. I don't think he'd be too upset if I said this, but I remember, I'll never forget the first time I met Chad Brownlee. Okay. This is my very first CCMAs. We just released my first single. And it was doing really well, and big group of people at the CCMAs. It was like a cocktail party or something like that, and the guy that I was with, he met Chad a couple times, so he brought me over, and I, hey Chad, this is my friend JoJo. He's an up and coming guy, and I was in shock, man. Like, it's Chad Brownlee, bro. Like, it's my God. I've been listening to you for years, man. Come on, it's Chad Brownlee. Come on. And so I put my hand out. I said, hey, man, huge fan. I'm JoJo. Really nice to meet you. And he's kind of looked at me, shook my hand, and said, hey, nice to meet you. And I kind of stared at him for a minute. I was waiting for him to give me something. And I was, and within like what felt like an eternity of just staring at his face, not saying anything, somebody else had come in and, Chad, we gotta go get a drink, bro. I gotta get a drink. And he looked back and said, really nice to meet you, man. And kind of went off. And for me, it was like, he felt kind of shut off, right? He felt kind of like, no, but that was probably just me in shock that, I was, me and Chad Brownlee, you know what I mean? That's my guy. Him and I now are good buds. I could text him now. And if, he's always been one of those guys that if JoJo, if you ever need anything, man, you let me know. I got your back. I'll give you advice. I'll sit you down. I'll give you your head a shake. He called me once to be in his music video, and like, it was, yeah, dude, like that kind of stuff. And so those relationships just grow because you have that thing in common. A, music, right? B, he was a hockey guy. I'm a hockey guy. So whenever we see each other, we shoot the breeze about hockey. We shoot the breeze about just life in general, how he's doing, how I'm doing. And one of the things I love about Chad is that he remembers. So he remembered. I mentioned Chanel one time. He said, "Oh, how's Chanel doing? Have you got engaged yet?" Kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And when I got engaged, he sent a nice message. It was like, "Congratulations!" And that's who he is. He's a very, very approachable, very nice, very but he's very quiet as well, right? He's that guy. So for an example of that, being able to grow that relationship, and I've reached out to him multiple times. Just, I was struggling. I needed some advice. Yeah. I was feeling down and out, and I shot him a message and said, "Hey, man, you got a minute for me?" Sure. So he'll get on the phone with me, and we chat for a minute, and good to go after that, right?
Those are the people that I think build those really good long-term reputations, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's not necessary. It doesn't make him a bad guy if he doesn't send you a message and say congrats on your engagement. Of
course not.
But the fact that he remembered and paying attention and goes out of his way to send that stuff, it means a lot to people, right?
And those are like I said, man, it's people in this genre that are like that.
Yeah.
Somebody who's really, really good at that is Brett Kissel. I've in the last couple of years, I've gotten a chance to know Brett a little bit, and he remembers. I've never seen anybody better at remembering people's names. Like, apparently, and these are stories that I'm hearing about this kid. He'll meet somebody in radio, one of the DJs, won't see them for 2 years, come back and be like, "Oh yeah, you just had I saw, how's when last time I saw you had just had a baby, and how's little Gigi or something like that, she's about 2 now, right? Since the last time I saw her, about 2." And he's like, the guy's got it. Yeah. He's got it. And he's best I've ever seen like that. But those are guys that people really gravitate towards, right?
Was that kind of like starting to meet obviously bigger names in country music and Canadian country music? Was that kind of stuff surprising?
It was for me.
Yeah.
It was crazy to see how humble a lot of these guys are. Like, I got a chance to meet Dallas. He was very, very warm to me. I know he's one of those introverts that I was talking about, who probably if you put him up in front of people to talk for 45 minutes, he would probably rather not do something like that.
That's super interesting.
But for me, he was very, very warm when I first met him, and even to the point where I was really struggling at one point in my career, early in my career, and I don't know why I messaged. He had told me, dude, I'm here for you. Anything you need, if you need even just some advice, you want to go for coffee or something like that, hey, let me know. And I remember I reached out to him one day. I said, listen, man, like I'm going through some stuff. I need some advice. And so he took time out of he's busy. He ain't got time for just to mess around, right? But he took 2 hours for lunch for me. He met me at Cactus Club in Langley and sat down and I was at the time I was like, this guy he's actually showed up. So I sat down and we talked, and I gave him I gave him everything that I had at that moment to talk about, and he was one of I can't say enough good things about the way he handled me and my situation. It felt real. It felt genuine. And since then, he's been that for me. He's been that guy where he, if I need him, I can call him. If I need something, I call. I'm lucky enough now to have developed a relationship with him where it's still just as strong to this day, right? And again, he's one of those guys. He's been through it. He's been through the ups, been through the downs, and it's nice to have somebody that you look up to, and that you want to be like, have that same level of respect that he's willing to take the time.
It's cool to have those role models, especially early in your career.
Oh,
just I feel like I've had a couple of those through my career, and I am so excited to give back to that, like for me, obviously real estate, to that new realtor, because it was there for me, right?
Yeah, man.
Always take that coffee meeting. You spend 30 minutes of your time giving someone a little piece of advice or sharing your experience. People don't forget that stuff, and it's really beneficial, right?
I was on the way here, and I got a call from a young fellow out in Ontario. His name's Justin. And he gave me a call. He was texting me earlier a couple of days ago. I said, man, I really need some advice. I need to talk to somebody. Is there any chance you'd be willing to get on the phone with me? I said, of course, man. So he's on the way here. I was on the way here. It would take me about 35, 40 minutes to get here. I was on the phone with him the whole time. And he was asking for advice. He was asking what he thought I should do, or what he thought I would do, and what direction I thought he was going. And again, I am no expert by any means at all in this business. I still feel like a rookie. You know what I mean? But I've been able to intelligently talk, intelligently speak to this guy, and intelligently give this kid some advice that's been based on my personal experiences. It was crazy. It was a whirlwind for me to be able to do that. As soon as I got out the car, we got off the phone, gave you a text, and it's like, well, I had a big smile on my face the whole time. I was like, damn, he called me, asked me for my advice.
It's humbling, right?
It is, man. It's one of the coolest experiences. Ooh, excuse me.
I think one thing I learned a couple of years ago, no matter how long you've been in an industry or whatever, your experience can provide value for someone, right?
No matter what.
Just sharing the things you've been through.
No matter what it is, man.
There's been lots of failures in my career, and just sharing those things and saying, okay, this is what I learned from those things can absolutely help someone along the way, regardless of whether they've been in the industry longer or shorter than me or you, right?
It's nice to know too, for me, what I wanted when I started this music was just to be able to make a difference and make change and be able to, I'm a very open book. You ask me anything, I'll never lie to you. I'll never hide anything from anybody. It's not my nature. The hardest times too. If you want to know about my past, I'll tell you everything. It wasn't easy. So a lot of the time, I killed myself mentally a lot of the time. Like it was really hard. But for me to be able to give back and just to be able to make a difference, even if it just touched one life, for me that's a win. I feel like I've succeeded, you know, in doing what I want to do. However, I want to continue to do so, of course. And luckily for me, now I have a platform to do so. There was I played one of my first festival shows out in Cavendish in 2015. I put out one song, and I guess I hadn't done too bad on stage. So there was a meet and greet at the end, and I'll never forget this, man. There was the longest lineup I had seen for a meet and greet I've ever experienced. There was probably felt like 100 people there. And so I'm standing there, I'm signing, I'm giving hugs to everybody, I'm saying hi to everybody. And in the middle of the crowd is cute little girl, pink cowboy hat, pink boots on, pink little vest on. She's by herself. I'm kind of like, it's probably like, what, 12 or 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, little one? How are you? And we're chatting for a minute, and I signed her hat, whatever, and she went back around to the back of the line, waited till everybody was done, came up to me and said, I want you to read this. I couldn't tell you, I couldn't say it out loud, but I want you to read it. She had written on her phone a message that says, I feel like my parents don't love me. My friends don't want me around. I feel so alone. And I feel like I hate myself and where I'm at. Something along those lines. But I've listened to your music, and your music really helps me get through. I was like, come here for a sec. I gave her a big old hug, and we sat down on the grass in the tent, and we talked. And I said, listen, like, you've been through a lot in your few years, but clearly you're here for some reason. You're here for a reason. You've been through it. And so you just got to keep fighting. You just got to. And so I gave her this piece of advice, and she gave me a big hug. She was in tears. She was crying, and she gave me a big hug and went on her way. And I don't know if I haven't seen her. I don't think she sent me a message since, but I'll never forget that experience. Fast forward to this last fall. I was in Edmonton, and I was on my first leg of the Hug Life tour. And so we had done the Edmonton show, and I'm standing there, and I'm saying hi to everybody. I'm meeting people. There's a long lineup, and this couple comes up to me, and she looks at me and says, JoJo, I just want to thank you. I said, thank me for what? Thank me for what? You're the one who bought a T-shirt. You're the one who bought a CD. I want to thank you. And she said, no, listen, the way that you've been able to be open about your mental health issues and your struggles has really, really helped us. And we haven't felt like we haven't felt like a normal couple and had a normal night out since before our house burnt down. I was like, what do you mean your house burnt down? So she told me the story, and they had been, apparently this was real recent, a couple of weeks, a couple of months before the show. They had their house set on fire, their townhouse set on fire, lost everything. She was in the house sleeping when the fire went up, and somebody grabbed her and pulled her out. And she said, this is the most normal we've felt in a long. I still got I posted. She let me post the message she had sent me later on too, and she said one thing I said. I didn't even remember even saying this, but she had said to me, she was telling me all these things. And I said to her, I guess I had said to her, listen, you survived. You've been through hell, and you're still here. Obviously, you're on this earth to do something great. It wasn't your time to go. So turns out she's becoming a nurse. Her husband was in the Army. And I had just got another email from her. Was last week or something like that. It said, hey, just want to give you an update. Nathan's overseas now. And we're doing better than ever. And just like, we can't thank you enough for your words and your kind thing. I'm just sitting there like, this is why I got into this. Oh man, this is exactly what I wanted to do. And to be able to use my experiences and my words and my music, I guess, with my platform now, to be able to inflict that change or, affect somebody's life in that way is more of a win to me than anything else I could have ever done. And again, like I said, that's what I wanted to do when I started, man. So Sorry, Carl. I just start talking. I just can't stop.
That was great, man.
I just can't stop.
These
talking,
stories
man.
are so good.
I just can't stop talking.
I'm assuming you've probably gone through something similar, but like for me, there's moments throughout a career, even throughout a year, that you think to yourself, like, why am I doing this? Am I on the right, like, am I doing this for the right reasons?
Oh yeah.
Am I making a difference? My goals at the beginning were this. Am I achieving those? And then you get those little reminders, whether it be like from a teammate, from a fan, from whoever.
Yeah, man.
That just kind of keeps pushing you forward, right? Gives you that little bit of extra strength to get through a tough time.
Just reminds you.
Yeah.
Just reminds you why you're doing what you're doing, you know, and to do what you're doing to the best of your ability and to work as hard as you can, because those changes or those things that you're doing affect people that you don't even realize, you know, and it's to get those messages like that is an absolute blessing, but it's also a really good reminder of, you know, what you're doing really does matter, and what you should do in life is matters. You know, it could be simple as I watched a video. I watched a video the other day. This guy had a cell phone up like this, and he's walking around, and he would just go and say, compliment every single person. One thing about them. Oh my God, I love your shoes. And the reaction was just magnificent, man. And that's all it takes. And this kid is going to be remembered by all those people he complimented by going out of his way to say something nice to random strangers. And that means something, man. That means something. I think. I don't know when this is going to be aired, but January 29th is Bell Let's Talk Day, right?
It's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. So what I've done, me and my friend Mike Young, he's one of my best buds now. Musical genius. He's my bass player. Yeah. You guys will see him on February 14th. The guy's an absolute gem. So what we're doing, we went into his studio at his little studio, whatever, and we recorded an acoustic version of "Numb" by Linkin Park, right? And so what I did,
was like one of my fave songs in elementary school, man.
Me too. And if you listen to the lyrics, it is a mental health anthem. Man, I couldn't believe I paid attention for a minute. I listened to it back, and that was one of the ones I really wanted to do. And this was why I wanted to do, so I could release it on Bell Let's Talk Day. So tomorrow, we're releasing it to Spotify, Apple Music. We got Bell on board to play it across all of their country stations across the country. And all of the money we generate throughout its entirety, however long we have it up every year, we're going to give the amount of money from the streams, from the downloads. We're going to give all that money back to the mental health. And that's, again, like I said, I wanted to be part of the change. I wanted to do things to not just talk about it, but to be about it, you know, to really raise awareness. So that's what we're doing. I'll send you a link tonight, man.
Yeah, 100%.
There we go. You can check it out. But that's what I wanted to do, man. So that's what we're doing. It's little things like that, you know, may not mean a whole lot in the big scheme of things to most people. But if it reaches one person, if it reaches two people, if it reaches three people, then I know what I've done matters, right? And that's what I want to be, you know. I always say, well, not always, but now that, you know, Kobe's gone too soon, you know, that's what I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered for, you know, taking time to do things like that and to be that change, right?
I think about two, amazing, by the way, and I'm so pumped to hear that cover, because that's a wicked song.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, man. It's so different.
Totally, hey?
Yeah, dude. It's wild. You'll see.
Do you put a country spin on it?
Nope. Just an acoustic. Yeah. It's piano. It's piano and guitar.
Cool.
And that's it. And it might be if you pay attention to the organ in the background, just lift it up a little bit. But that's it, man. Production's super simple on it.
Even, like with your platform and the number of I was looking at your Spotify, 135,000 downloads a month.
Yeah, something like that. Listeners a month. Yeah,
that's sick.
It's crazy, man. Over the Christmas break, because we had released, we had put out my Christmas songs again, right? We just put them all out. We was at like 200,000 listeners a month. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Right? I know.
Wild, man.
It's so whenever you get those like whatever fan coming up to you and sharing that story about how you've helped them, how many other people are too introverted or like just wouldn't say anything, but you're affecting so many people, especially with like the reach that you keep accumulating every year. It's pretty cool and so humbling. Even like I bring it back down to our level, and what do we have? 25,000 downloads or something like that on the podcast. And we've had like multiple people reach out and just be like, I really like that episode, learn something.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, we've done a couple with talking about depression and mental health, and we've like whoever, business tactic, like whatever it is. But it's cool to get those messages just to like reassure that you're doing things for the right reason and providing value.
That's what it is.
Right?
That's what it is.
And if that one person reaches out, how many others are taking something away from it, right?
That's what it comes down to, man. It's about what effect do you want to have on the world, because, you know, you never know. Any interaction with somebody could be the only memory or only thing that they remember you for forever. You know, I've met, you know, I've heard stories of people like, yeah, I met this guy once. He was a dick though. He's not a dick. I met the guy. He's a really nice guy. But that one interaction with said person wasn't very pleasant. And it might have just been or, you know, didn't take the time to really get to know, or, you know, spend a lot of time. So you never know. You never really know how you affect other people and how you affect people's day. And again, like I said, like it's the company you keep as well that really defines who you are as well, right?
Even just like shifting the thoughts in your head to, most people have a lot of good in them, right?
Oh,
most people with their friends and family are wicked people. They're friendly, they're kind.
You're not born an asshole,
right?
Everybody's got that good, the wide-eyed innocence of a child.
But even just understanding those thoughts of like meeting someone new or walking into a Starbucks and ordering coffee, like, why not just be like, hey, how's it going? Whatever your name is, Holly.
Yeah.
How's your day going? How's your morning going?
Love your hair.
Right? Rather than just like, take a black coffee. Put a smile on someone's face.
Put a smile on someone's face.
Yeah, I love that shit.
A lot of times people just don't even think about that, though. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times people don't go in and say, hey, Holly, how you doing? I love your hair. I'd like a black coffee.
That's it.
People just don't have it. And maybe it's because they're having a bad day or something that happened to them. And so if Holly was standing behind the counter and is wondering why this person's was a real dick and came up and just, I want black coffee. Holly don't know that, you know, Johnny's mom just died and he's having a rough go of it and just doesn't want to talk to anybody, just wants a black coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you never really know, man, but you gotta just do your best, I think. And
you never know what an interaction is going to turn into, right?
You don't. And that's what I've based, you know, that's my life. And you never know. I've had some really good things happen from conversations I barely remember.
Totally.
You know?
But just being friendly, being outgoing, being genuine, asking questions.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And paying attention to what people are saying is another big thing for me, is, you know, look them in the eye and let them know that you're talking to them. Let them know that they're important as well, right? It's cool, man.
That's a part of the thing I'm learning with the podcast is the listening part is so much more important than the talking part. Like genuinely listening, caring about someone's story, and then just picking it apart and like asking questions based on like one little thing you said, like something I want to go back to. Great segue here. Yeah. I'll point that out. It's a little bit shocking to me for you to say, obviously, you know Dallas fairly well, that Dallas is an introvert. Because I don't know, I haven't been to a ton of concerts, but let's say I've seen 25 or 30 people with music festivals and all that kind of stuff live. And I would probably put him at the top in terms of crowd interaction.
He's the best.
Blew me away.
Yeah.
So good.
Absolutely.
So it's interesting for you to say that a guy like that is an introvert. I guess he's just like a seasoned vet and totally understands how to work a crowd.
He's very good at what he does. When you see him on stage, I've seen him more times than I can count on both hands.
Yeah.
And And every time I'm blown away with, you're right, his interactions. He takes fans. It's fun.
So cool.
I had a friend of mine that I grew up with in Saskatchewan, okay? I hadn't talked to her in 10 years. And she posted a picture because she was at a festival that Dallas was at, and he had taken her phone and posted a picture. And I said, hey, I know that guy. And she's like, oh, you know him? Like, it was like the biggest thing. But that's who he is. He's all about giving back. He's all about the fans. He's all, and he makes time for anybody who wants it. Is how I feel about Dallas, and that's always been my interactions with him. But you know, I'm going to host an award show coming up in the next few months, and in Saskatchewan.
Sick.
And one of the things that they had asked me to do is a 45-minute Q&A kind of thing. And for him, he'll do it. No problem. He'll get through it. But if he doesn't have to do that, it's like, God, I don't want to stand up there and just sit there and talk about, myself for 45 minutes. And for me, hey, I talk for hours. I don't give a shit. I talk about anything to anybody about anything. I don't know a lot about a lot of things, but I know enough about a lot of things to be able to bullshit my way through a ton of conversations, right?
Even just going back to that point about, like, you never know what an interaction is going to bring. You never know. That girl that he takes a photo with that one day, she remembers that forever. And anytime Dallas's name is ever brought up,
that's what she
said.
That
guy was amazing live. That's right. Had so much fun at his concert, right?
He seems like such a really nice guy. And he is. That's what I hope he doesn't listen to this and just be like, oh, guys, just whatever. But, honestly, I was a fan of his before he even knew my name, and so to have that relationship with him now, he is what I thought he was, which is really, really nice. And obviously, Kobe's on another level than anybody on the planet, but to see that every interaction that he's had with people who he probably don't even remember, he wouldn't even remember, and they're sharing their anecdotes with everybody, proves to me that he was exactly who I thought he was. And that's why guys like Dallas, you see the work ethic, you see the hustle, you see what he's done, you see the stuff he does with his family, you see how well he treats his band, and you hear how well he treats his band, and those are the things that you want to be like. Those are the things that you want to emulate. And I've had a chance to get to know some of the guys that he's played with, and that they have nothing but really, really good things to say about him in that regard as well. He takes care of us, and in turn, we bust our ass for him. Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, man. That's what it comes down to. So for me, having somebody like Dallas on my team is such a blessing for me, because he's taken the time to get to know the direction that I want to go in, and he's not trying to steer me in a different direction. He's trying to steer me in the direction that I want to go, but using his knowledge and his experience to help guide that train. Right.
I've been a big fan of his music for a long time. Like, I've been a country fan for 15 years, since high school, and been a big fan of Dallas for a long time. But that was so impressive to me. I've only seen him live once. He's come back to Sunfest, so I'll see him again this summer, man. Which I'm so pumped about already. But Keith Urban is headlining Sunday night, I think. I can't remember who the other two nights are, but Dallas is on Thursday.
Okay.
And I'm 100% going on Thursday.
You have to. If you've never seen him live, you should. And
he's
even
so
if you
good.
have seen him live, you still should. Because the guy keeps, and listen, you don't put out 8, and you don't have the support of the entire country. You don't have the support of every radio station. You don't have the support of guys like Keith Urban and guys like Florida Georgia. You don't have that support, and you don't have 8 number ones in a row without A, having great music, B, being a great person, and C, just loving what you do and showing everybody who supports you that same love back. And that's one of the things that I've taken and I've really paid attention to is just that. The amount of love he gives back to his fans. Yeah, he did a speech. He won Fans Choice Award. Was it last year at CCMAs or the year before?
Cool. Yeah.
He won Fans Choice. And he said, I make music because I love music, but I make music for you guys because of the support that you give me, and you guys have given me this platform to do so, and you guys supported me throughout, and you don't even understand how much that means to me. And I was sitting in the audience and I was just in awe of how much respect and how much love and how much praise he was giving to everybody else, you know? And like I said, to have him on my team as well is it's been a game changer, you know, for me.
When did you guys start working together?
September. Him and his business partner Scotty Cook, who's also my producer. They came on board late September, early October.
Scotty Cook. Ah, he works with Kristen as well, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Right. Yeah. She's the protege, man. She's I've been, and don't tell her this yet. Don't tell her. But I pitched to Scott. Kristen released a video of her singing a song called Warrior. And I was blown away. Apparently she wrote that song. I was just she was singing it live off the floor, and I've done one of those at Sirius XM sessions, and I was floored. I was floored, and I messaged Scott right away. I said, "What do you think the chances of Chris is going to release this song?" He said, "Probably pretty good." I said, "What do you think the chances of Chris will release this song with me as a feature on it?" You know, and he's like, "I'll talk to her." You know, she's a very independent woman, and she wants to be one of those girls who, you know, stands on her own 2 feet and doesn't want to feel like she has to have a bunch of features or help from anybody else. Sure. She wants her talent and her presence and who she is to really shine through. And I think she's going to be a force to be reckoned with, man. Once she gets some traction, and she already does with her first single, just came out so hot. And across the country too. It wasn't just me that thought so. She's getting ads on radio stations left and right for independent artists. With the climate of talent that's coming out nowadays, she's breaking through that as a female.
Isn't that a good indication though that artists want to team up with her? Isn't that like, I think the power?
I hope so, right? For my own selfish sake.
Like,
you know?
Yeah, but what I'm like from. Yeah, you wanna do it on your own, but this is doing it on your own.
Totally.
Right?
I mean,
people are reaching out to you and being like, I want to team up with you because you're fucking awesome.
I hope that's
a pretty good sign.
I hope that's how she takes it.
Yeah.
But Scott and I have got a pretty good relationship now too.
Her voice is killer, man.
Oh, dude, it's incredible.
Yeah. Even just like her acapella stuff that she posts on Instagram. That sound equipment can't be very good that she's putting that stuff up with, and her voice sounds unreal.
She has okay, here's the thing. You know she's good, and you know she's great, and you know she's one of the best when she can do, you know, the Mariah Carey, super
man.
That nobody can do in the planet. I never even heard notes that high since Mariah done it. And Kristen's out there, she's out there, she can do that. I was in a recording session with Scott last year, and he's like, "Dude, you got to check this out." And he's produces Kristen, obviously. He produces Kristen as well, and he's soloing, like, so he just mutes all the other instruments and just puts her voice on, and it's pitch perfect.
Yeah.
And she's doing all the high pitched run things that I'm sorry. What? I looked at him. I says, "What?" He says, "Yeah, man, the women in country music, they better look out."
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but can we project? Her voice is almost like a country version of. Do you know who I'm going to say? Ariana Grande.
I think she's better than Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande's voice is phenomenal.
It's great.
It's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
It's so unique too. Yeah. The pitch.
Yeah.
Maybe I just haven't heard enough of Kristen, but like. Maybe she kind of was like a country version to me of that.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with the talent level. Ariana Grande is very, very talented.
Yeah.
I feel like Kristen, you know, is better, and with the right people in place, which she clearly has. She's gonna do some damage. She's gonna do some damage in this business in the best. I mean that in a very good way. She's gonna do some things, and I'm very excited to be, you know, to be a spectator and to be able to, you know, to say, hey, I was watching from the beginning. I've been around from the beginning. I've been a fan from the beginning, and I get to play a show with her coming up soon too. I'm stoked, man. There's a female part in one of my songs called "Good Kind of Love." Don't tell her this either. I haven't asked her to do this yet, but I'm gonna ask her if she would sing, come on stage and sing with me as well. I think that would be fucking killer, man.
You're headlining Boots and Hearts.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is wild.
That's pretty crazy, man.
I'm pumped, man. I missed seeing you at Red Chuck last year.
Yeah.
But I got tickets very early for Boots and Hearts.
And sold out quick too.
I will be there no matter what. I'm so pumped, man.
It's gonna be good, man.
Pumped. And Chris, and now I get to chat with Kristen tomorrow and then see her live too.
Yeah. She's a gem, and I played with I brought Sons of Daughters out with me on my Hug Life tour as well. And they're just, I mean, I've written tons of songs with Jimmy down in Nashville, and him and Crystal are just the sweetest pair. And to know that they're coming out too, this is a comfort thing for me too. So know that they're coming to play the show with me too.
Because she's from BC as well, right?
Yeah.
Are they both?
I believe so. Jimmy is for sure. Yes, Crystal is.
Yeah, I think she's from North Van or something like that.
That's right. That's right. She's been in the game for a minute, and same with Jimmy. And I'm glad some really good things are happening with them. They're actually out on tour right now in Ontario with Megan Patrick.
Amazing. That's wicked.
Man. Oh, stoked. That's my girl. MP.
Yeah. How's your game changed in the last like 5-6 months working with Dallas?
How's it changed?
Yeah. Or like what is learned any like big things that you're pumped to kind of put into work this year kind of thing? Just because he's a superstar.
He's an absolute superstar. Yeah. And again, like I said, when I go see shows, I have a hard time just sitting and enjoying the music and saying, I don't do that anymore. I can't. It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't, because I'm sitting there and I'm trying to make my game better. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching guys like Dallas and like, I've seen, me and Chanel went to Florida Georgia Line concert. We went to Justin Bieber concert last time he was through. And I sat there and she's dancing around like crazy. And I'm sitting there just in shock, awe, and staring. And she's like, "Are you having any fun?" I'm like, honestly, I'm having the most fun. Yeah. It just may not look like it on my dumb face. I'm not smiling or anything, but I'm having a great time. And I'll just sit there and I'll stare and I'll watch what they're doing. I'll watch it. And Dallas, and one thing I know is that he keeps great company with his band, and his band is all of them fucking rock stars, man. I had a chance to play with some of these guys, and the level of comfort you feel on stage is a huge thing, but just the sheer security that you feel with these guys on stage is they're never going to let you fall. If you miss a part, they'll help you out. They'll back you out. Yeah. They'll help you get through it. And that's one of the things I'm really trying to do is piece together a really solid core group of guys that I work with on a consistent basis.
Totally.
And so one of the things that I've learned from Dallas is, in the last 6 months, is to hold myself at a certain standard. There's been some show offers that, in the past I wouldn't even have blinked twice taking them. Obviously, they have to be worth it. They have to be worth the money. They have to be worth the look. And a lot of the shows now, they go through Dallas. And if I want to play a show, and even if he doesn't think it's a good look, he'll support it. And that's one of the things that's so cool. Like I said, he's not trying to take over. He's trying to help and trying to steer the ship in the right, or steer the train in the right direction, ship in the right direction. And so we will sit there and we'll chat and we'll talk about the show and the reasons why I think it's a good idea to do it, or why I don't think it's a good idea to do it. He'll listen, he'll take into account, and we'll decide on something together. But one of the things that he's taught me is to hold myself at a high standard, because if I don't, then nobody else will.
It's so key. I actually use that word with our real estate team all the time, is like, hold yourself to a higher standard.
That's it.
Exactly. And what I mean by that in like a business sense is, don't let the little things slip.
No.
You are better than the other people in our industry, but you need to prove it every single day.
That's it.
Right?
Kobe Bryant had a quote. He was, and this, you got to listen to this First Take podcast, man. These guys are amazing. Yeah. Every day they put out a new one, and I'm at the gym. That's what I listen to at the gym. I don't listen to music. I listen to Stephen A. and Max Kellerman. And they said Kobe was born with the most talent, but worked like he had no talent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he was great, is because he knew he was talented. But he knew that if he didn't apply himself and never waste a day, then he wasn't going to be what he wanted to be. And that's the same mentality that, I feel like Dallas has been holding himself for many, many, many years. And like I said, you surround yourself with people like that, and it's bound to pay off. And we've had talks about it. And he's been such a great role model for me in that regard, right? Mm-hmm. And it's guys like him, but it's also guys like Simpkin as well, Jonathan Simpkin in my 604 Records. But guys like him too have, he's been very, very upfront with me about a lot of things, which I respect so much. He's allowed me, whether it be an emotional call, whether it be some things going on in my life, or and I'm struggling. He's been there through a lot of stuff with me, and it took me a while to kind of really realize and appreciate him. But I hope he listens to this, and I hope he realizes how much I do. He backed up my Bell Let's Talk idea. Like he has connections at Bell. He went the minute I brought it to him. He said, absolutely, put down on paper exactly what you think and how it's affected you, and let me know. Give me some points that I can bring to these guys. So I did. I put my experiences, what I went through with my mental health issues when I was at my lowest point, and he was so kind. He was so kind to me, and so understanding that he was like, no questions asked. I got you. No problem. And he did. And messaged me a couple weeks later, and he says, yep. So Bell's gonna put you on all 14 stations across the country, and they're gonna play this. They're gonna play your song. I love your song. Love what you do with it. And creatively, he didn't really have anything to say other than, you do you, man. It's great. You do you. He's been so supportive, and it's guys like that you need in your corner. And to add Scott, to add Dallas to those, to the piece of the puzzle, last piece to my puzzle, I feel like if I haven't been happier, I said this to them the other day. I messaged my manager, Jenna. I said, I haven't been this happy in years, man. I feel like everybody's firing on all cylinders. Everybody's holding each other accountable. Everybody's on this path that they see what I see at the end, and they can't ask for anything better than that. You can't. It's great. Great.
I'm pumped to hear that, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's exciting.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
You got a big 2020 ahead too.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be good.
Touring with Gord for the next, starting in February?
Whoop. Starting February.
Late February or something?
First show's 21st, and then we have 2 weeks off, 21st. And then we're back in Alberta. Starting the
Western Canada?
Doing Western Canada.
Are you in BC?
Yep. We are doing BC. Unfortunately, I'm unable to make the Abbotsford show. They're playing the Abbotsford Arena, but I'm unable to play the show. Regardless of whether I can play it or not, I suggest you go see it, because you're not just seeing me, you're seeing Andrew Hyatt, you're seeing Jess Moskalik, you're seeing Gore Bamford, you're seeing Dwayne Steele, you're seeing Corey Marks, you're seeing Eric Etheridge, you're seeing all these young guys coming up, and the amount of talent I'm gonna be riding with on that bus is insane. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's stupid. And so I'm lucky that I get to surround myself with that for, a month and a half,
You toured with him last summer too?
I did. It wasn't last summer. It was 2018, November 2018.
Was that long ago? Okay.
I think so. 2018? Yeah, it must have been.
What's life on the road like as a musician?
Great.
Yeah.
It's great. Hard.
Are you like tour bussing around?
Yeah. Oh yeah. These guys, Gord does it right.
Yeah.
This time he's got 2 buses, because he's bringing us all a bunch of artists out with him, right? So he's got 2 buses. He's got his bus for the crew, and his band, and every. Calm down, White. Yeah, are you done? She hungry. That's what it is.
Yeah.
She wants me to go to. She want me to go to Whole Foods. Oh, but it's the best, man. I love it because I'm able to get into a good routine. Right. I'm a creature of habit. So when I don't have a set routine for a while, it's tough for me to really put every day to good use. You know. But I was able to get into routine for the first month. Was great. I was working out. We every show we would go to, we would have we sound check during the day. A lot of us would go out for dinner after, and then before the show, and then we play the show. After the show, we jump on the bus, go to bed, wake up in the next city. Crazy, man. And I wake up in a new town wondering where the hell. There's a rule: no shitting on the bus. Don't poop on the bus, or else you pay $500.
That's a rule.
No pooping on the bus, man. Everybody's living space, right?
You got to be careful what you eat for dinner. Then,
Yeah, well, you either got to, or you just got to make sure you know where the bathroom is when you wake up in that next city, right? So I made sure I knew where the bathroom was in every city. I'd wake up, I'd put my sweatpants on, put my hoodie on, put my hood up, and put my big boots on because it was wintertime, and I'd find the nearest Tim Hortons, and I'd buy myself a black coffee and go to the bathroom and then go back to the bus and chill with the rest of the band. We'd do sound check, and I was able to get in that routine. A lot of the times too, Gord has he'll rent a hotel room for us for the day, so we can shower, we can shave if we need to, or if we want to just chill or have a nap or something. He's got a room for the band. So it was easy. A lot of time I would spend time in the gym at the hotels, with the treadmills that barely work. I broke a treadmill once. It was like the biggest piece of shit treadmill, and I'm a big guy. Like I was pushing 275 at the time, and I'm running on this treadmill, and then it just stopped working. I unplugged it. I put it back in. It didn't turn on, so I went to this treadmill beside it. I start running, and it stops out, and it stopped. I broke 2 treadmills in one hotel room, bro. I broke 2 treadmills in one hotel room. I couldn't believe it, man. I was so embarrassed. I put it on Instagram. That's how embarrassed I was, because I needed everybody to know.
That's one of those front desk awkward calls, right? You're like, man, I think there's something wrong with those treadmills in there.
That's something you just walk away, pretend it wasn't you. I don't know what's going on, but these things just don't work. I tried it, and it just didn't even work. I don't know what happened. I don't know. It just wasn't me. Couldn't have been me. Look at me. Couldn't have been me. I'm on this health kick right now. Really consciously trying to eat better. Not so garbage, and consistently eat good. Mm-hmm. I've dropped like 15 pounds in the last couple weeks, man.
What are you doing differently diet wise? Because it's difficult.
I'm not eating pizza. I'm not eating cheeseburgers anymore.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? I'm eating eggs and toast. I'm eating chicken and salad. It's
just cleaner.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
And portion wise too is a big thing. Is if I choose to, I can crush a large pizza. But if I'm going to eat pizza, I'm not going to make myself feel guilty for it, right? If I went home tonight and I call Pan and go up, I'm not going to order a large pizza. I'm going to order small or individual. Get some chicken wings on the side or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting a large pizza and the breaded chicken wings and also the non-breaded chicken wings, because I like options.
Yeah.
And I could crush them all, man. I could eat the whole thing. But now it's not about doing that. It's about portion control.
Yeah.
And it's about not eating it every day.
That's something, portion control is something I struggle with. When I don't cook that often. I live by myself.
So why would you?
It's time consuming to cook by yourself. But I'll do it like once every couple weeks, probably. Maybe once a week. And when I do, I'll make something that I like.
Oh, it's probably
and
so
then
good.
It's so hard to stop eating. Whatever, if it's like tacos or like a pasta or like
it's
whatever.
It's impossible to make enough for just one person.
Right?
Bro, so I did the HelloFresh for a while.
Yes.
Okay. And I loved it. If I wasn't on this like health kick right now, I would still be eating HelloFresh. And I like HelloFresh because everything's already portioned out for you. Mm-hmm. So they don't allow you to order a box without ordering it for 2 people.
Right.
You know, they don't just do single servings because that's a waste. So I would make both servings and eat one day, eat the other one the next day. So I'd have 2 things, you know, same thing back to back with nights. But for me, it didn't really matter because the food that I was ordering, the options were so good. I found when I was cooking at my house, if I needed cumin, if I needed turmeric, if I needed, you know, onion, if I needed ground beef, I was getting 2 pounds of ground beef instead of, you know, the quarter pound that they give you with HelloFresh. That's enough for one person. You know what I mean? And I would cook the whole thing and I would put it in the big pasta. And instead of eating a quarter of the amount of pasta, a quarter of the package of pasta that they provide for you with HelloFresh, I'd eat the full package of pasta because it was sitting there. And then later on, I'd look at it and be like, well, I haven't cleaned up the kitchen yet, obviously. So I might as well just go back and keep eating. And that was my problem. I just kept eating and eating and eating. So this HelloFresh was so good. Gave you the recipe, bang it out in 25 minutes, and you're sitting there eating meals like a king, man. I was eating like this steak with this au jus sauce on it with some fried beans and some mashed potatoes. Yeah. It was the best damn mashed potatoes I had, you know, since I've been to the keg. You know, it's not like that. It's always portioned out.
Are you worried for the road to eat clean?
No.
No?
No.
It's pretty good?
I don't think so. And again, it's all about, for me, it's right now, especially, it's about water consumption.
Yeah.
Like I'm drinking 4 liters of water a day and that keeps me full. Like I keep my 1 liter bottle. I just keep filling it up. Mm-hmm. I keep sipping on it throughout the day. Right. And it keeps me relatively full. I'm doing this intermittent fasting, so I don't eat after 8.
How long have you been doing that?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
But the food that I've been eating before 8 o'clock is not great. You know, I can't eat before 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon now anyways. I have a coffee after the gym. I have take my little BCAA gummies or whatever. And after I work out and then that's it. But I don't eat. I can't eat anything sustainable until, you know, 2 o'clock anyways. My body just doesn't want it. I just don't do it. I'm either busy doing something or it just doesn't even occur to me. It's like, oh shit, it's 2 o'clock. We should probably eat something now before you die. Before we wither away, clearly, as you can see. But yeah, it's the intermittent fasting now is working really good because I'm drinking lots of water and I'm keeping myself sustained. Like tonight, what is it right now? 7:41. I'm gonna eat tonight because I haven't eaten dinner. I haven't eaten since, you know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock this afternoon. However, it's past 8 o'clock, the time that I usually say that I can't eat. However, if I'm eating at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, then I just won't eat until 5 the next day or 4 the next day. Or, you know, I'll extend that hour. So I still have that 16-hour period where my body's digesting or whatever. That's my main focus, right?
Are you feeling better since you started?
I'm down 15 pounds, man. Yeah. It's noticeable for me at the gym. I have days, obviously. I'm my own worst enemy, but like I went to the gym the other day. I've been going to boxing and doing that, but I went to my actual gym and it's got mirror angles that you almost don't ever want to see. But I would always look at myself, and when I first started this healthy thing 3-4 weeks ago, I'd look at myself and be like, ugh. Fuck, man, shit. But now I'm looking at myself and I'm seeing the progress. And for me, that's the most motivating thing, is just being able to see the results and see the progress.
Totally.
Which is great. It's great. Yeah, man, I'm killing it. I want another 25 pounds off by the end of February.
Fuck, it sounds like you're on the right track, man.
It's ambitious. It is. But, you know, if I just keep doing what I'm doing, and the biggest thing is just not to starve myself from anything. Mm. Like if I want pizza, I'm going to go get a pizza. I'm just not going to get a large one or a medium one.
Or just like, because I like eating out too a lot.
I bet. Look at all the nice things around you. I didn't even know this area existed, man. I was right across the street. There's a Panago, there's a sushi, a Subway, a Whole Foods, a Vietnamese noodle thing downstairs. Like, I would never eat at home either. Yeah,
Italian food is like my it crushes. I'm obsessed. And being in North Burnaby, there's a lot of Italians here, which means There's a fantastic Italian pizza place right there.
Authentic
There's
too.
3 more on Hastings. So it's just like, it's
You're
so
screwed,
hard, man.
You positioned yourself in the worst way. In the worst way, but the best way, so you can experience stuff like that.
There's a great sushi place right beside Panago.
I'm gonna bring you on stage. We're gonna find you a lady on January or February 14th. I'm bringing on stage. I'm bringing another lady on stage. You guys are gonna slow dance.
I don't think the girlfriend will be too happy with that.
Oh shoot, she doesn't live here. I forgot she had a girlfriend. I'll bring you and your girlfriend up there.
There you go.
You guys can have a nice little slow dance romance thing. Shoot.
All
She
right.
don't come here. She don't want to live with you, or you don't want her to come in.
Oh, yes, early on, man.
How long y'all been together?
6 months.
That's early.
It's
Right.
early.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it as it is. Stay home, woman.
Yeah. I made the mistake once, right?
Yes.
So I want to slow it down a little bit.
Good.
on the
I'm
second
sure she
time.
respects that.
Totally.
Yeah. No rush.
She's
All
younger
love.
too, so she's not in a big hurry. Anyway, that's enough about that.
I can't wait to meet her.
She'll be there.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's
Man.
fun. Let's wrap up this way.
Let's do it, bro.
I always like asking you who like inspires you in your industry. Maybe geared toward more like who are you pumped about that's up and coming kind of thing.
Mitchell Tenpenny.
I know you talked about him last time, but he's there. Like he's
He
not
is.
necessarily up and coming anymore.
He
He's a star.
He is a star.
Yeah.
Guy's a star. And he's a beauty. The reason I love him so much is because he's dating one of my good buds, one of my best buds, Megan Patrick.
Yeah.
But also, he's like the nicest dude ever
Yeah.
on the planet. One of the most talented, craziest voices. His new song that came out, "Can't Go to Church."
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed. Man. I was like, shoot, bitch, why can't you give me that song, man? But up and coming,
Or anyone that you're like recently in love with, like
Yeah.
enjoying their stuff, what they're doing.
I've always been a fan of Megan, of course.
Yeah.
I got a chance to get to know her while I was on tour with her, and we've just had a really good relationship since. I think I'm really excited about Kristen.
She's I'm pumped to meet her, man.
You should be. She's
Her voice is
such a
phenomenal.
sweetheart.
Yeah.
She's such a sweetheart, man. She's about 5'0", like just an absolute powerhouse of a voice, and just the sweetest thing. And I really believe that guys with knowledge as great as Dallas and as great as Scott, who have been in the game for a long time, wouldn't take chances like that on a female artist, because it is a lot harder for a female artist to break through. I don't think they would take an uneducated risk as such, like without knowing the risks involved. And
Sure.
and I think that Kristen is somebody that people are gonna know. People are gonna know. If you don't know, well, shoot, listen to the video, man. Damn, I'm excited.
Yeah, she's good,
I'm
man.
excited about her. I've seen her on stage. I was at the BCCMAs. She was on stage. She killed it. She makes her own outfits too, which is dope.
Her outfits are expressive.
They are.
Yeah.
But she makes them herself.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
She made this one. What did she say? I was watching her in the thing, Instagram story, and she was going off about how she put like 1,000 gems or something on her jean jacket. I was like, how do you have the time to do that? I mean, obviously she's killing it, but I would never be able to just pay attention to one thing for that long.
100%.
But it looks great, and she does her own thing. She's so unique and so cool in her own right, and I'm excited about her.
You know Adam Doliak?
I do.
He's the guy that I'm kind of obsessed with right now. There's a couple songs that he's got.
What's his big one?
His big one is Famous.
No,
But
his other one before that.
before that,
Let me
Well,
see.
no.
I got it on here.
like
Hang on.
the two, well, I don't know how new they are, but the newish ones that I'm listening to are called Solo
Okay.
and Neon something.
Have you heard Whiskey's Fine?
No.
Oh my God, Adam Doliak. 2017 Adam Doliak.
Neon Fools. You know that song? Oh,
Is
baby,
it fire?
that's
Is
good.
it fire?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll check it out. You look up Whiskey's Fine.
Whiskey's Fine. Okay.
Oh my God! When he put that song out, my buddy Toby sent it to me, and he was like, "Joe, you got it. Like, this is straight up your alley, man." And I listened to it, and it is everything in a song that I wish I had done. You know what I mean? It was fun. Whiskey's fine. You'll love it, man. I promise. Famous. There he is. 2019.
Famous was a big one, I think.
Wow. Okay. I'll check it out. Well, listen, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming back, man. That was a lot of fun.
We're gonna do this every year. I think at least once a year.
Totally.
Why not? Right.
I'm pumped to actually get to see you live.
It's gonna be a time.
Weeks.
It's gonna be a time. Don't tell nobody this yet, but I'm hoping to get my mama on stage to play.
She'll be there
to play the piano for me. She's at home practicing tonight.
That's amazing.
We're gonna do a song. Hopefully, do a song together. Hope she does. She used to play piano in front of big concerts, you know, solo stuff and with choirs and shit. And yeah, she hasn't played in a long time. So for Christmas, I rented her a keyboard, a weighted keyboard, so she could practice and I sprung it on her early in January. I said, "Hey, any chance you want to come on stage, play a show with me?" Mouth just hit the floor. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" No. Well, and so I'm almost got her to say yes. I think one more week of pressuring her to do something she doesn't want to do. We'll get her.
That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be great, man.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great. That'd be a really cool moment for me in my life, my career, to have my mom on stage with me doing something like that. Right?
Have you played at Commodore?
I have. Never had
such a cool venue, man.
Oh, dude,
it's such a cool
I'm
venue.
so excited. Like so excited. I had like the upstairs. There's the dressing rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had like the little closety looking dressing room that we shoved my entire band in and whatever. And I remember somebody said to me, "So one day, man, you're gonna be right there, the big one with the TV on the wall, and like, maybe I don't even know if I'm gonna get it this time, but that'd be cool. That'd be kind of dope if I did. Well, we'll see, man. We come a long way in a couple of years, man, and I just hope it keeps growing and growing and growing. I hope everybody, you know, sees that I don't suck.
Even just the personality, man, the optimism.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I love so much about you, other than the music, is be yourself.
That's it.
It's working.
That's it.
Love it.
It's working.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot for coming back.
It's a pleasure, man.
Good
Next year.
Yeah.
Carr, you're the best.